Hey, what's going on, everybody? Back with another episode. Yo, that WrestleMania was like, I don't know how y'all feel. Y'all was there, but
that WrestleMania.
we gotta talk about it. And we got King Koley in the building. Right. Title Tuesday.
Talk to me, baby.
Yeah.
TheMixedTagShow.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's another episode of the Mixed Tag Show with
Jenna and
Blue. And we got King Koley in the middle. No, wait. Thanks to King Koley, when we was over on Title Tuesdays, he done dubbed me the Marvelous
Marvelous Blue.
There we go. I like that.
I don't know how.
Exactly I don't know how Marv today, just for you.
See, look at that. See, we working out here.
I don't know how marvelous you are, but you know,
I'll tell you how marvelous later, and I'm pointing to the shirt.
Marvelous Blue, baby.
Before we start off, I do want to pay my respects and give a shout out to DJ Mr. C. If a lot of you know, I came from radio background. I worked at Hot 97 for a long time. DJ Mr. C was somebody that definitely was a teacher. He was a mentor. He picked us up from Jersey, like me, DJ Shy, DJ Walla. He definitely took a hone into us before we even made it to the station. And he was giving us game before we even made it to Hot 97. And when we got to Hot 97, it was just organic and natural feeling, just dealing with Mr. C. And it was just a been a bad week, losing Mr. C and finding out the way we did. So I just wanted to say rest in peace to Mr. C. You always been the greatest. And you closed out the show like the champion that you are. So sleep in peace, and I hope that you're at peace. But let's get into some wrestling. Thank you. Yeah, to the family and friends who were closer than I was. I'm like, I haven't spoken to Mr. C in a while, but it's still affecting me because he just had that impact on people. And it's just so even to those that's closer to him than I was, I pay my respects to them and give them my condolences and their flowers because I know they're going through it tough.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely big for, the New York hip hop radio, hip hop in general, but like definitely for New York radio station. So definitely it's a big loss. But
just a quick thing for me. Like I know during the morning show this week they talked about it is the reason why Mr. C stepped away from Hot 97 is because he felt that the music was past his time and it was time to bring in new people. And that's just the way Mr. C was. He always wanted to bring in new people and give shine and light to like DJ Walla and CeeLo and Magic and all them guys, them 5 guys that he brought in that changed the shift of Hot 97 a bit was Mr. C's idea. He was never the one that wanted to take accolades or, take away from other people. He wanted to give to other people and see this culture grow. That's just who he was. So when he decided to step away from Hot 97, that's because he knew that his time was done. He wanted somebody else to take that spot and grow, just to show how kind of person that he was, that he wasn't thinking about himself. He was thinking about the culture. So that's how he always been, and just keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. But definitely, again, condolences and, our prayers with his family and friends at this time.
Yep. Let's get into some wrestling because we got Wrestlemania on the board.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's see how you guys was there. I was out here. I was at home, watching on the screen. He got the chain and everything.
He had to make sure he came home with some type of souvenir. So
yeah.
We was about to leave, and I said, "Hold on, I gotta go get this chain."
Yeah, I'm not gonna even front. That was like one of the doper, in my opinion, like merch that they had. So it was definitely, I think, a good pickup.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's dope. You hate everything WWE. Don't try to act new now because you have a guest.
You can't hate on a big dookie chain.
First of all, exactly. That's hip hop. You can't even get mad at that. Second of all, I'm giving WWE a chance. This is an announcement. I'm giving WWE a chance after this WrestleMania that is finally Triple H era reset. I mean, the reset will happen to the draft. We'll talk about that later. But I'm giving it a little chance again. Let's see how we go from here. Let's start off with our guests. Tell me something from night one of WrestleMania that was when you're like one of your favorite moments?
Night one, favorite thing from night one that was with me was Gunther and the Sammy match. That was my favorite match
Oh wow.
I said, like, that was my favorite match of night one. Like I said, they stole the show, the emotion, the compassion, what it is, like getting his wife involved. Sammy is the ultimate underdog, and I'm the hugest Gunther fan in the world. I'm the huge, I love Gunther.
Walter, I still say Walter.
Yeah, Walter. But yeah,
I mean, Gunther's cool now. Like,
yeah, like I said, yeah. Now, the name Gunther is actually cool now. Like I say, it's a name now. Like at first, I hated the Gunther name. I thought I was gonna go back, and it didn't. But hey, Gunther is Gunther now, and he took it and ran with it. You gotta look at it as a transformation too. I'm sorry to go off, but you gotta look at it as a transformation. He lost all that weight. He put a lot of work in, and the Gunther is Gunther now. He's not that big fat Walter guy, even though it wasn't terrible. But yeah, the Gunther and Sammy match, that was number one with me. Like I said, it really had me captivated and locked in. And she'll tell you, we was cold as hell.
Oh yeah, how was that in there? I meant to ask you guys, how was the temp? They showed on the TV like 45 degrees, but it felt like 40. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it was freezing, and I had that Macho Man outfit on. It was cold as hell.
Too bad you could have pulled up the pictures. Like, he was, the big star this weekend. Everyone was stopping him and loving his cosplay. But like he said, it was. I honestly, after night one, I was like, I think I'm bowing out when it comes to Wrestlemania, because like. I was sick or recovering this whole past week because of being out in 40 -2-degree weather. So it was all bad in night one. And that's why
you just ready for it.
Huh?
That means you just prepared for it.
I wasn't prepared enough like I thought I was. But
it was real chilly.
It was bad. And then the thing is, a lot of people were complaining about the crowd, saying the crowd is ass. And never to be in Philly again. And obviously we're not from Philly, but you gotta understand, if it's frigid as hell and there's
cold.
nothing,
you can't get locked in. You
can't get locked in. And if the matches weren't really delivering, there's nothing. You know what I mean? Because if you were hype about a specific match, like he said, Gunther and Sammy was cool, but if it really needed to be something that was like would have really stole the show, that would hype people up, and I'd probably give people energy. But that whole night one, surprisingly, which I thought it was the better card on paper, but surprisingly, it didn't deliver. But Rhea and Becky, we actually got in there a little. Did we see them the whole match? Or
we came in right when they came out. So we was there.
Yeah,
we was there for the match. Yeah, but like that was my second match that I liked a lot, man.
Yeah, that was a good one. And I was actually surprised. I really thought Becky was supposed to win that match, was going to win that match, but I guess it makes sense because with contracts and everything.
Yeah.
Or maybe they need a break.
So. I was just so happy that Becky Hogan didn't win. I don't care contract.
Wow, Becky Hogan. That's the first time I heard of Becky Hogan.
Rhea is over. Rhea is hot. Like the crowd wasn't with Becky at all.
They weren't. It was the first time. You didn't hear? That's the first time I've heard people not cheer for Becky. Like it was those dueling chants, because there was a time where everyone was just everything was about the man. But this was the first time, like he said, it just wasn't. The crowd wasn't really behind Becky. I think there was a lot. There was some booing. They were behind Mommy, and there was some booing for Becky. So. But it was they really put on a good match, especially when I felt like the build to it wasn't that great up until like maybe the last week or so. So I thought that was one of the better matches, in my opinion, on night one.
And you can tell at that moment too as well, because it was still warm, and that's why the crowd was engaged in that match, because it was still warm at that time.
The sun was out.
It's true.
The sun was out.
Still warm. It wasn't real cold at that time yet.
Yeah.
So like that's why the crowd was very hype at that moment. Yeah. And like I said, the temperature just started going down and down.
I was looking at
that's when the crowd started going down and down.
That's a great point. And then moving on from one besides.
Come on, can I say my piece?
But you a hater, so it's nothing.
No, but
there's not going to be takeaways that's going to be engaging for this conversation.
Give me the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
So I hated the match. Say now.
It's a new season. It's a new season.
It's a new season. Let me cook. So
let you cook. All right, go ahead.
The match is dope. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the intro for Rhea. Yeah. You said what?
I said you was watching SmackDown Live, so yeah, so you just earned some points with that too as well.
That's what I'm saying. I watch Raw, I watch SmackDown.
It might be New Year. It might be New Year, New Blue. Who knows?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Even though it's April, but
the reset comes in. Definitely. The women match was dope. I enjoyed it. I really appreciated the intro music for Rhea, how she was hyped to get the man that she wanted to come out for her, and that she really played to it. And honestly, when the dude came on the screen, we thought that was Rhea. We was like, "Who's this?"
Hey, it did look like her. It looked like her brother or something.
Is that Rhea on the guitar? So we was like hyped for her and everything like that. This definitely was a good match. I can see why they went back to Rhea. This is probably going to be one of the longest reigns in women's history. Because now you don't even see who contests her, right? And it also makes sense as the weekend goes through that it makes sense why she kept her title. It's good for Judgment Day. But yeah, my favorite part of the night. Actually, no, I'm gonna say what's not my favorite part of the night from night one. This freaking Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso match.
Yeah, man.
That's the whole WrestleMania, not just night one. The whole WrestleMania.
What happened? Because like you said, like Sammy and Gunther had the emotion, and the wife was involved, and even with the cold weather, people was into it, right? This is what we thought Jimmy and Jay was gonna be.
That was supposed to steal the show,
yeah. This was supposed to steal the show. Mirror versus mirror, spider versus spider. You know what I'm saying? Like this was it, and they went in there. And they got the time. Most of the rest of the matches that night didn't get the time that they were supposed to get.
No, I don't recall. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting with the time limit, but I felt like that match was like about 8 minutes or so. I don't know, which is I guess decent. But I in my mind I envisioned this duel of a match, and like they were really gonna battle it out. And I know they couldn't be cold because I know that ring is heated, so that can't be excused. So it's just like I don't know. I don't know where.
Just lackluster. That's all I can say. It was lackluster. I had high expectations for that match. I thought that was going to be the show stealer of the whole WrestleMania. I thought everybody was going to have to outdo Jimmy and Jay. I thought it was going to put on a show. I thought Rikishi was going to come out. I thought they was going to hug it out and squash the beef at the end. I thought it was going to be all that. They had a good video package. They had the best video package of WrestleMania 2 as well. And like I said, it was just bad.
Like they tried to do a super kick spot. It was just like it felt like they had no chemistry. As much as chemistry it has as a tag team, it seemed like versus going against each other, they have no chemistry whatsoever. And it seemed like everything was just like, all right, what do we do now? All right, you go. Now you go. Now I go. You go. Like,
which is crazy. Which is crazy because they've been hyping up since a year or two that's their dream match.
That was their dream match.
So when you have
I know they wasn't happy about it either.
Which we'll talk about night 2, but you would think if this is your dream match, then you're gonna steal the show and overperform and do, overbook it and a lot of spots, and it was just like they didn't want to hurt each other, which is crazy. Because like I'm assuming when you have a sibling, you have siblings, and you have a brother.
They play rough anyway.
You play rough anyway, so for them the way that they were playing, I was just like.
It was no high flying. It was no jumping over ropes.
Nothing.
Jay hit him with the one splash and it was over. I'm like, this is it.
That was it.
This is it. So it's just we'll put him back. Oh, there you go.
I said I get the little super kick thing, and they showed it in their video package when they was growing up. They was kicking each other. Right. And I get that part, but it don't work as adults like that.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't just slide into it like, are we both standing here? The super kick.
And that's what they was trying to do, but it didn't work. Like I said, I don't know who came up with that spot, but that's not the same. So it was just I don't know.
It wasn't good.
I really thought they was gonna hug it out. And it looked like they cut it at the end too when it went on, because I was like, damn, they ain't even showed nothing. They just cut it right after.
Right. It's like, all right, match over. Let's go to the next one. Like
exactly. The lights went dark in there.
Like, all right, guys, this is not working. We'll try again later. I don't know. But let's go into the main event for night one. The Rock and the Tribal Chief.
The
Roman
final
Reigns.
boss. Hold on. The final boss. The final boss. Put some respect on the People's Champion's name. The final boss. The final boss.
The Rock.
Yes.
There's a lot of duh in his name. The Rock, the final boss, the great one.
The great one, the People's Champion.
The great one.
Right. And the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and Seth freaking Rollins. How did y'all feel about this match?
It was actually good. It was way better than I thought it. Rock exceeded every expectation that I had for him at that match, and he did one spot for me, and I was just like, he tripping. It's not really wrestling related because it was cold as hell when it was outside of the ring, and he poured that water on his head. I was like, he tripping. It's cold as hell.
I didn't see that.
And it was outside the ring in the crowd, so I was like,
he ain't
under that heat. You in the crowd and you throwing that cold ass water on you.
Like, trying to show y'all he about it.
But yeah, the Rock exceeded all expectations with me in that match, and I was very sports entertained. I knew they was gonna lose. I didn't know that Cody was gonna take the pin, but I guess it worked out that Cody took the pin from the final boss. But yeah, I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah, I think, like he said, I think that was he exceeded my expectations. Granted, he didn't take as many bumps. Like he wasn't in the match pretty often, so you have to like obviously protect the quote unquote ring rust and that he is older. But in general, they did a good job. I was entertained. Was it the greatest match of all time? No, but it did what it had to do.
He took that rock bottom through the table, and I was surprised by that too as well.
Yeah. He took a few bumps, and
he took like I said, a couple.
He wasn't in the match the whole time, but it served its purpose.
He had Meek Mill, Rock, get up.
They always cooking at me. I'm sorry. He was trying to have fun with his family. Leave him alone.
On that one.
No, he's trying to have fun with his kids. He was rocking with his kids.
Yeah, but it was one spot of the match, and she'll tell you, I was like, where the hell is The Rock? like he was going somewhere. He was going for a minute. Like, where the hell is The Rock?
And exactly, that's what he's saying. Is like there was like periods where that man was nowhere to be found, and I truly think it was to protect him in the sense that he's 50s in great shape. I hope like when we're in our 50s, that's a goal. But you got to protect the man that hasn't wrestled in X amount of years. 50 somebody years old, and he's also going to do some movies and stuff like that.
Right.
You got to protect the investment. So
yeah, I think from night one, the main event was pretty dope. You saw where there's conflict for Seth. Seth really wanted to be there for Cody. Gotta give Seth his flowers, man. My man played his role to the T. Whenever he had to step into that role and help out, make sure that Cody got over. Well, both nights we're gonna talk about it. And just from night one, when the combo came and he got hit with the spear, and then you saw the rock bottom, and it was over, like, damn, Cody, you done. They did you dirty, dog. And Seth is nowhere to be found. It was really bad. And you see just Seth selling the back injury. And I was like, yeah, he's losing tomorrow. He can't be Drew like this. But it definitely was a dope night for night one. It was a struggle to get through. I'm pretty sure it was a struggle to get through for you guys too.
I wouldn't say.
I started clock watching at a certain time.
That was definitely how I felt. That's why I said, like, after that point, I was like, yeah, I don't even know if like, he can tell you that we really were like, when I tell you the last minute, like, weather was much nicer. When it was the last minute when we decided, you know what, all right, let's just do it. Get cheap seats as cheap as possible. Let's just do it. And it was a great decision. But yeah, night one, it was definitely a struggle.
Like, even like I clocked the intro for the main event, and the intros alone was like 21 minutes. It's like, why do we have 21 minutes of intro?
Yeah.
And like,
when everybody else's match is getting cut short.
That's what happened with night two. He even said it. He was like, like the main event's about to start, and he's like, because it was like at that point it was like 9:45.
something.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's probably gonna be the video package, and then it's gonna be
intros,
the 7-hour entrances and what have you. So
the match starts like 10:25.
Exactly. No, but it's like we're laughing, but like dead ass. That was
like, it's about 30 minutes of just hyping this match up. Like I got to get a chance. Let me go get my food together.
Right.
Get my bathroom break.
Do what you got to do because
put the gas in the car for work tomorrow. I'll be back.
Right. Because that shit took forever. So needless to say, night one was like, it was, it was a cool experience, but I personally was disappointed. Now night two, a whole nother ball game.
All right, so
what's our takeaways from night two?
Yeah, we're gonna start off with the guest again. What was your takeaway? Your biggest takeaway from night two?
Man, night two had some good stuff right there. I'll tell you the match that underperformed for me, but it served its purpose, but still underperformed because like that feud needed to be over with anyway. Was the Final Testament and the Street Profit people? I don't know. I forgot the name. What was the Pride?
I heard about to call them Power.
Yeah, they need to call them Power. They call themselves the Pride. Yeah, so yeah, that's the.
I heard about to start calling them Power for some reason.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Put over your merch. Go ahead.
I went to SmackDown. We get to SmackDown. Oh well, no, it's the weekend. It was the SmackDown before. So for those that don't know, I was privileged to get Dawkins, Bobby Lashley, Montez, and B-Fab hoodies with for the people, for the power, for the people shirts and hoodies, and they
wore them this Friday, right?
They wore them last Friday. They wore them this Friday. They've been wearing it for a bit now. So, and it's coming from For Your Wear. So that was like a proud moment for me. Everybody's like, like, yo, they got your hoodie. I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. I mean, so now
that's big. That's big.
Yeah,
that's on, like WWE, like
don't usually
programming.
Do this.
You know how?
Yeah, they don't let outside merch come in.
The new era.
So I'm like, that's what I'm like. All right, maybe they got a new era for real. I'm about to start clocking in. But yeah, I'm about to send them some t-shirts this week.
Now you clocking because they're wearing your shit.
Hey, that's the main reason why he.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Triple H my guy. I gotta support the homie.
Not because it's been very entertaining these past few months.
Yeah, Triple H
they've been wearing it. Okay.
Let's support the homie, and I'm gonna send him some t-shirts this week.
Now he the homie.
That's hoodies everywhere.
Now he the homie, and you see AEW going down like a sinking ship right
now.
We're
gonna get to that. Still good over here.
We gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
We will get to it. We're gonna get to that.
We good. We still so good. But yeah, shout out to Street Profits. Shout out to Bobby Lashley, B-Fab, aka Power.
Yeah, Power. Okay, I'll take the Power over the Pride. But yeah, like that match very underwhelming to me, and then that one spot because the table had broke on accident, so the match went like a tad bit longer than it was supposed to.
They had Bubba Ray come out. I'm like, what does this guy do for anything?
Yeah,
I guess it's Philly ECW. Cool. I get it.
Yeah, I really liked the Drew and Seth match. Like I said, I really liked the EO and Bailey match as well. Like I said, like that's not a match that a lot of people was talking about, and I give it enough flowers. And of course, the main event because it was over big booked. I wish Stone Cold.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Oh, you say, give me my top stuff.
Yeah, we get there. Like
I said, I really just enjoyed all the night two, basically.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm not even gonna say loud. I enjoyed every match of night two though. But like I said, just that Pride and the Final Testament. Like I said, it was the wackest match on the card, but it served its purpose. Like I said,
it was still entertaining. It wasn't the best on the card, but it's still entertained.
Hope that it look like it's the end of that. Thank God, and let's move forward because that feud was trash.
Yeah, I don't know what's the issue with Karrion Kross and whatever. What's the disconnect? And you have AOP and what's this guy?
Early.
But whatever.
Ellie.
But it's funny because when everyone saw the card for night two, they were like, this card is trash. But now in hindsight, after us experiencing, it makes sense as to why not only the card was a little bit shorter than night one, and why you didn't have really significant matches because of what the main event was supposed to be like. So that's it makes sense. And again, going back to that, we're talking about this is Hunter's era. It's just booked properly because there would have been a time where it was just everyone needed to be on the card. There was quite a few people that was missing on the card, and I get it.
Right.
you got to get your WrestleMania check. But everything was paced, I think, in my opinion, not necessarily to perfection, but it flowed the way it needed to. It just didn't seem like, all right, let's just put this here because we, to get whatever out of it. It was just like, all right, this is what needs to happen, and then we have our main event.
Before I get into the card, there's something that we definitely missed out on mentioning is how on both nights, night 1 and night 2, it kicked off with Triple H on night 1, making sure he put that stamp like this is my WrestleMania. Yeah. And then on night 2, having Steph to come out and like co-sign it, like, yeah, I'm back, and hubby's running everything. So like
that was dope. That was dope.
Even with Paul Heyman during the Hall of Fame, he made sure everybody knew, like,
which was a great speech. I think that was the best speech I've ever heard at a Hall of Fame. Understood, but it has to be noted. Like I think that was the best Hall of Fame. I was entertained. I remember. Well, I don't know if it was last year or the year before when we were watching it.
The Undertaker.
Oh, we had fell asleep. Like,
boy.
My man talking like he walking.
He was. He the only person that had a headset on. He had a headset. He had, like, rightfully so. He deserved that moment. But I'm like, bro, this is boring.
Talk a little bit faster. Come on.
Talk a little bit faster.
Listen to your voice.
Talking like you walk.
You're not the Undertaker no more. Come on. Let's get this Mark Calloway. Let's get away to it.
Right. So shout out to Paul Heyman. That was a fantastic match. Speech. And we listened to it on the way to Philly, and it just thoroughly entertained. But like you said,
I was very emotional. For some reason, the tears were just flowing.
But you know what? He's always emotional.
It's okay. It happens.
You look at every other time you look at this man, and
he's moved.
Emotional.
I respect it.
It be hitting the spots.
It be hitting the spots.
Like I said, Paul.
First Mania, you taking everything in. No,
that speech was a tear jerker, and I was.
Yeah, nah.
I don't know if it was a tear jerker, but
Nah, Paul Heyman got that kind of effect on people. Like he's very passionate when he talks, so it can hit
that's what it is. Somebody that's really passionate about what they do and then really over and everything. That's what had me. And I just always been a Paul Heyman fan.
Exactly.
Like even before like this whole blow up with Brock Lesnar and all that. For some reason, it was just something about him in the ECW when they used to come take over Raw sometime when he had the ponytail and everything. And like I said, it was like something about this guy. It's just
he's not corporate.
And it's so funny because and I had asked Koley, and I was like, they couldn't stand him. So and then he mentioned that was a Vince McMahon thing. So it's just so funny. Like I always thought, like my impression of Paul Heyman all these years was that I thought he was annoying or just not really like a liked person backstage. But then that's when Koley had told me that I was just always Vince McMahon. And it makes sense, mm-hmm. Like now that the things that are coming out in regards to how things are operated now and how they used to be, for me, I always thought there's this kind of like this cloud with Paul Heyman. So to see the respect and love that he got, I know we're going off tangent a little bit.
It's fine. It's wrestling. We're talking.
Right. So it was just dope, just to listen to that speech and really just see the true aura of what he's brought to the industry.
I think the dark cloud that always followed Paul Heyman was always Paul Heyman's fault, and everybody knew that. That's why he always gained the respect that he had, because at the end of the day, he believed in all his wrestlers and all his performers and everything that he did. It was more so that he didn't have the funds to fund them properly like he needed to. That always was like the disparity between him and his locker room. But other than that, they knew that he loved them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew that he gave them a spot to do what they needed to do, and he knew that he wouldn't be able to hold on to them too long till they go to WCW or WWE or whatever the case may be. And he was never shy about it. You know what I mean? So I guess that's why he always was revered and loved by the locker room. And this is why Vince didn't like him, because Vince wants that love. And he's never gonna get that love. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna get that.
So
the same way why he doesn't like Triple H, because people love Triple H, and he's never gonna get that love. You know what I mean? He knew that Triple H was a threat. He knew, he's insecure at the end of the day, and that's probably why he's the way he is. He wasn't loved as a child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
With that said,
I'm going back to WrestleMania. Like we said, the first match tilted.
For me.
You didn't pick your things already, you know?
No, I didn't finish.
Oh, sorry. I thought you was done.
think I said what I had to say, right?
That's what I said. You finished. You did.
You know, Io and Bayley, like he said, was a really decent match. I was happy for Bayley. She deserved it. You know, we've seen her. She's been injured. She's retained, like she said, the title at WrestleMania, which was dumb back then, that she wanted the title before when she should have won it at Mania and all these different things. So she definitely got her, you know, crowning moment at Mania. And like I said, it made sense in hindsight, that card being the way it was to set up for the main event.
Definitely.
You can go.
Okay.
You can go.
We haven't talked about. We didn't talk about AJ Styles and LA Knight.
I'm gonna get there. I'm an AJ guy. I got this.
That's actually a good match. Like I said, nobody talked about it. We forgot to talk about it, but yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why.
He said he's gonna get to it.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna get there. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Like I said, it was a great match. I missed most of it. I got the end, and like I said, I was right. Cash in.
We all knew that was coming.
No, because she said no. She told me no when we did the prediction on your show.
Did I say okay? Listen, I'm the one few times that you're right about stuff.
I've been right a lot lately. Let's say that.
Lately, all right, man.
I was just curious about how it's going to happen, but we knew it was happening.
Yeah, we knew it was going to happen because especially if it was the first match. It was like, all right, that's to set the tone for the night. But
it was dope. We saw, you know, Punk's involvement with that. That was that was dope.
So definitely, again, we knew that Drew was gonna probably pass it down, and we're gonna figure out what happened from there. I'm not gonna talk too much about the Bayley. EO, you guys said everything correctly about that. Giving Bayley her flowers. She finally won the match for that. The Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton was entertaining. It was entertaining, but you guys know how I feel. Like, he should have never won that. That's the time you should have passed it on to Kevin Owens. Let Kevin Owens do what he needs to do with it. Randy, I'm pretty sure Randy's not in a position where he wants a title right now, especially not no US title.
Right.
But that was the time.
And it would have been nice since his best friend won the Intercontinental title, and he saw him off before his match.
He's like, "Go get yours." He's like, "Go get yours." I mean, I felt that. But nah,
I think it's totally at this point. This Logan Paul is quote unquote is that bridge to mainstream, so that's why he still has the title.
He's the money. Let's be honest. My man got Prime all over the place. My man got a refresher stand on the side of the ring. My man got it on a turnbuckle. My man got it in the ring. I've never seen so much merch, so much sponsorship for one company. Yeah. Especially at WrestleMania. My man had it everywhere. Like every match interacted with the refreshment stand. Like you constantly seeing Prime everywhere. I'm like,
like you said, it's a money grab. It's a bridge.
He's getting money from two sides.
Yeah, it was very nuts. And then they was handing out Zoa outside the arena, so Zoa couldn't even get that with the Rock being a brand member. They were handing out Zoa outside, and you haven't even seen Zoa on Raw.
Right, like, you can't even see it on the screen. Like, what's happening? And my man got this thing on lock.
Commercial doing Raw or SmackDown or NXT to be along with that.
Yeah, like, this man got this whole Prime thing on lock. I'm like, this is what this is. This is why he champion. He got that on his contract. Like, y'all gonna pay me for this Prime sponsorship. I'm gonna put Prime everywhere. I'm gonna make y'all look young. Just put Prime.
He for sure gonna hold that title till SummerSlam because it's in Cleveland, his hometown.
His hometown, yeah. Once that happened, you put two and two together and realize you okay.
No, I'm not okay. His head drop. Yo, what the heck? Like, how do you got a stronghold like this?
He's not that.
He's not a bad performer.
So with that said, if he's not a bad performer, he's not a bad heel. He talks well on the mic. What in hindsight is what's the issue? Is it because he's not an actual wrestler? Is it because
my issue at this point? At this point, you might as well consider him a wrestler. It's one of those things that we felt with Dominic.
He's not homegrown. Is that the issue?
Nah, it's the same thing we felt with Dominic when he first came in. Right? It's one of those things where earn your spots, right? Because there's a lot of people that could have came in and earned it. You could be put in a position, you could be put into these matches, but when you start beating these people that's been doing this for years, and you just stepped in, that's the disconnect for me. Because it's like, my man only been wrestling for like a year and a half now. Granted, he's great at what he's doing, but you got to remember, the people in the ring are making him look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a two-way dance, and a lot of people that they put him in the ring with are deserving people. My man had a match against Roman Reigns for that title.
And he lost.
I think it lost at Saudi Arabia, right? I think is it Saudi a match?
Yeah, it was Saudi.
It's a Saudi. Like, why did he get a title match in Saudi? Like,
because the Saudi, because the Saudi nation picks those matches. Right. You know that, so and they wanted.
Well, yeah, in that case,
you can't even count that one. You can't even count that one.
But my thing is, like, you have this man coming in and beating some of your best.
And that's the smoke. That's the smoke you don't want. So
right. You don't want problem with smoke. You don't want to mess with that bag.
Yeah, right. That's why you can't. That's why I say you can't. That's why I say you can't count that one. But he went against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania last year. He lost. Right. Like I said, and then like the matches that he do win, most of the time they're not clean. So like you don't really count. Like he ain't got no clean victories on nobody.
And listen,
he got a Ricochet, no?
Ricochet's Ricochet, man.
Ricochet, right? It's like, and the thing is,
oh my God, don't want this man to win.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I understand what you're saying, but we have to.
It's a new year.
This is what it is with wrestling, right? It's just going to be certain people that come out of nowhere and take someone's spot, even though there's people that's already bubbling and working hard. And your point with Dominic, Dominic came in just because he's Rey Mysterio's son and could benefit going to NXT. But once he turned into Dirty Dom and got recruited into Judgment Day, you know what I mean? So it's just sometimes for some wrestlers, it's, you know, they're gonna take and run with it, and some is just like kind of like Ronda Rousey was just.
I was just about to say Ronda Rousey.
Right, it was just like, why are you here? Type thing, and it never really progressed the way people thought it was. So it's just that's the nature of the business.
I mean, like I said, he's bringing them eyes. He's got the product everywhere. It's just it's my favorite that he's doing it too. So it's like I don't like it. But
Ronda swear that she could be like Logan if she'd have got the time. I was like, oh my God, you need to stop talking.
That's someone. That's
up for debate.
She sounded like a woman version of Ryback right now to me.
She's going off a little something.
Yeah, but see how long we've been doing this podcast for? We've been saying it for so long about Ronda. I'm not, I don't want to discredit her what she's done. Her career, like and what have you, but it just sounds like she's always it sounds off like someone that's just entitled. I'm not saying she didn't have her backstage issues and what have you. I get it because WWE at a point was a toxic workplace, but yeah, it's just.
Well, my favorite.
Logan Paul gonna have that title till SummerSlam. Let's just get that out of here. Even if he loses it, he's gonna get it back at SummerSlam.
I don't even think he's losing it. I think he's gonna have it till SummerSlam, and then we'll see.
Carry the Survivor Series.
I don't think it'll be that long. I think it's genuinely.
Let's see how long the sponsorship lasts.
We'll see. I truly think it's definitely gonna be at SummerSlam, and you're gonna see all that promotion for Prime.
Yeah, but speaking of my favorites, this just says Prime. It's just like what?
I need a better logo in the middle of the ring.
Come on. This is the logo you decided to put in the middle of the ring after how many years of not putting nothing in the middle of the ring? This is it. Now people getting pinned on Prime, like the niggas getting pinned on Prime. Speaking of my favorite, AJ Styles versus LA Knight. This is why I feel like this match did not hit like it was supposed to. In terms of, it was a good match. It did not need to be on this. It did not need to be on this card. A lot of these matches did not need to be on this card. WrestleMania could go back to one night. Let's keep it 100. Like between the good matches from night one and the good matches from night two, it could have been one night.
I was thinking
right. Let's keep it 100. LA Knight and AJ Styles. What are they, like? To me, I feel like both of those guys lost a lot of steam, and just to put them in a match together did nothing for neither one of them. Because they just ended up in contender matches during the week.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. But we didn't know that going into SmackDown. But yeah, I agree in that sense. That card didn't have to happen. And I know they did their best like during, WWE World. And I'm sorry, my dog's in the background. But, with WWE World trying to like brawl and all these things, they were doing their best to really hype up this feud. But it didn't make sense to have that match on the card when ultimately on SmackDown, just about to face off with each other. So.
Yeah. So
and the theme song was terrible. That's the thing in this Triple H era. They got the music The music gotta
change the music. Yeah,
I mean,
AJ got new music.
I think I'm the only person that like the AJ Styles.
He is the only person that likes.
I think I do.
Maybe
I like
something people gotta get used to. I don't know.
I really like people didn't like the Roman Reigns song at first. Now everybody love it. Like I said, I like the AJ Styles song. Like I said, but all that other song music, they need to get together with that Braun Breaker new song that he had on SmackDown. That was trash.
What about the one of Bailey? About Bailey's new music?
Bailey was okay.
It's okay. It's still it is. Like
I don't think they needed to change her actual music. Like once her music got changed, I don't think they needed to zhuzh it up or anything like that. But they did, But
she could honestly go back to her old song right now, and that
the one from when she turned the heat.
Ain't no stopping us now.
I think that's long. I think that's long gone.
She killed him. He ain't coming back.
You're only gonna see that song come back when it's like 10, 15 years from now, and you know how
she
people
comes back.
run back.
She comes back.
She better not ever come back at the age of 40 or 50 with that song.
Yo, blast from your past, Sasha. This is your friend.
This is seriously. But I think we can talk about the main event now.
Hold on, before we do, we are bugging because we did not shout out the Big Three versus Damage Control.
Yeah, shout out to Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair.
That was an interesting match.
It served its purpose, but
that's what I'm saying. It served its purpose.
Okay,
for the culture.
The
interest is better. I love the interest. Interest is amazing.
The interest is fire. I understand. We are black. I really understand it. We cheer for them. I'm happy they got their moment. I'm very ecstatic. But you talking about some great wrestlers, and you talk about some great wrestlers in that ring, and for them to just get squashed the way that they did. I was just like, come on, man! Like, come on now! that match could have at least been a little better. Like I said, could have been a little
bit more competitive.
Which it goes back to what
you had Asuka looking like trash. You had Kyrie looking terrible, and then Dakota Kai. Like I said, she's not the greatest, but it's just like, come on now! Like this is a match that could have been on. on SmackDown, this is the match.
We talked about
that one in the LWO match. That one in the LWO match was El Legado del Fantasma. Those two matches. That should have been on Raw or SmackDown.
And and it goes back to what Blue said. Like when you got to think about it now, specifically in this new era, moving forward for Mania. Do you really? But I know they're not going to go back to the one night format because it's just too much money that's being made.
Left on the table.
2 nights, right? Left on the table.
A lot of money on the table.
But it goes back to it doesn't need to be 2 nights with all these random matches. We didn't need those filler matches. I get it here and there, but there was too many filler matches. But shout out to Jade Cargill. People are hyped. The Big Three. Shout out to Naomi as well. Like you said, it was for the culture. The entrances were fire.
How long before we get the line from Jade Cargill? Ain't the Big Three, it's just the Big Me.
I said that. I said that's what's gonna happen.
How much longer do we get that line?
I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think we're gonna get it anytime soon. It looks like it's about to be tag teams. They need to keep
them together for a minute so Jay could keep.
We'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown. We'll talk about that.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up with the main event. The super produced main event where anything goes between the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes.
Well, Bloodline rules. That was my only confusion. I was like, what essentially is Bloodline?
Anything goes. That's what they meant.
Yeah, I guess. But when it was how long the match went without any bloodline happening, right? I was like,
kendo stick.
Yeah, a kendo stick or whatever. It was just like, all right, I guess. But obviously what set it off was everyone that wound up showing up. So it was overbooked, like he said, but it was something to witness. I can only imagine what it's like watching it live on TV, but to be there, you hear all the Shield music, obviously the Rock, John Cena, and I'm gonna give you guys your credit. You guys called all the different people that was gonna come up. I'm like, y'all being marks, but you know, it's
you're right. No point.
Y'all were on point.
They would have got Stone Cold too if the money was right.
If the money was right, yeah. If the money was right, we would have.
I'm just curious, how much was he asking for? I'm just curious.
Yeah, no,
but
for real.
But y'all know, let's be honest. I know Steve Austin and Triple H are not the best of friends. Like Triple H is probably lowballing him.
Triple H wasn't the biggest of fans, but at the end of the day,
but he sees the money in that. He sees the money in that one. In this case right here, Stone Cold coming back for offense. He like, nah, my nigga, we giving you $500.
I don't know about $500.
I'm joking. Like, ballparking it.
I'm pretty sure they probably offer him probably $1 or $2 million. Here you go for a little spot. You stun him and you roll out.
They probably offer Stone Cold honestly like $20,000. Here you go. And Austin's like, nah, I'm not coming out the house for
you lying. I'm
not coming out for less than 100.
No. Because his Mania at New Orleans, he had got $5 million for that, and that was a way bigger spot. So
all right, so I say he probably
asked for the mill.
He probably asked for the mill. And they try to give him kind of like $500,000. Like, now $500,000. You only in there for like 50 seconds.
See that more or less that. I can't.
He's like, I would need the mill. He's like, nah, $500,000.
No. I don't see them offering Stone Cold Steve Austin $20,000. Be for real. That like, I'm about to go to AEW if y'all offer me $20,000.
Yeah, like for real. Honestly, all he had to do is just stun him, flip the bird, and get the hell out of there. Like,
that's really it. And then obviously
$500,000, $500,000 to show up for 10 seconds. He's like, nope, I need $1 million. I ain't leaving this ranch for less than $1 million.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. But Undertaker served his purpose. He did.
This just was random.
It was random.
No beef. No beef.
Right. They've never really had like a crazy feud or what have you. And I'm thinking, I had asked Koley when we were there. I'm like, well, what would be the correlation with Undertaker? Like, I was like, oh, maybe because he beat his streak. But then he told me, like, no, remember it was Brock Lesnar that actually beat the streak, but he did beat him at Mania. So I was just like, maybe that's what it is. Like,
but they did a tag team match. They did a tag team match together.
They did a tag team match. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's the correlation.
And maybe Brock was supposed to be there. Never know.
Who knows? But at that
point, they couldn't find nobody else to really do it. Like, all right, Stone Cold turned it down. Damn, who we go to?
You can't bring Brock out here.
You can't be here, so it's gonna be Taker's always game for it. So it just wound up being.
Taker was chilling.
Taker's always there. He goes,
I'll take this $500,000. I'm already here. Give me the $500. Give me.
Yeah, he right there. Like, yeah, I'll take
deposit
that.
I'll take it.
I'll do anything.
Michelle, go buy some stuff, Michelle. Go ahead.
He do anything for the company.
He's a company guy.
He probably did for free. I just do it for free. I'm already here.
Listen, I wouldn't even.
Probably. Hey, you won't be. Hey, I won't be shocked if Taker did it for free. He was in the hoodie.
Right. I know. Underneath the ring, just chilling like this.
Hey, Taker, you're up. What I do?
Right.
Hey, Rock, you just jumped.
Right. And Rock is always gonna oversell.
Right.
Oversell stuff. He looked legitimately scared or whatever. But it was great match. And I don't want to necessarily say great match in the sense of like technical, but just
it was probably overbooked. Let's put it like that way.
Yes. And just Cody finally finishing his story. It was an absolute amazing thing.
Now the celebration was over the top. That even was overproduced. I mean, y'all doing too much.
Yeah.
But you got maybe.
Yeah,
but you got to think about it.
It was too much. I agree.
But you got to think about it.
Watching it back,
you got to think about it. If someone, if there's no pun intended, was a reign of terror on the company for X amount of years, and finally someone overcame all of that, it's like, yeah, we're
I'm not knocking that part.
You took down the dictatorship.
They did it with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. That's cool.
Right.
But I'm talking about with Triple H coming out, calling Triple H and calling Bruce Pritchard out. And that's the part I didn't. That's the part I didn't like. Everybody coming out and doing it. That's cool. Everybody coming out, holding them on the shoulder. I agree
that's the
with
problem
that.
I had. It wasn't
was
everybody.
That on TV? I can't remember that.
Yeah, it was on TV.
All that was
on TV. The problem I had was, if you're gonna have the locker room come out, have the locker room come out, men and women celebrating the celebration and how we're gonna celebrate it. If you're just gonna let a few people come out, it looks cheap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Like,
I guess
you have a few people come out. If you can have all the good guys come out, have all the good guys come out and fill the ring up and make it look like a real celebration. But it looked like it was half-assed.
But if you look though, it was everybody that was involved with Roman in the bloodline though. Now, like, if you look at everybody that was in there, it was everybody that was victim to the bloodline.
Even people, but there's people that got screwed over by the bloodline in the tag team division. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that just got jumped for just getting jumped.
Yeah, but
if you're gonna give that feel good moment, I say you bring out all the good guys. All the faces, let them fill up the ring, make it feel like a real celebration. Drop the balloons, whatever you want to do.
Hey, let's talk about that part. Let's talk about that part. Where the hell was the pyro? Where was the pyro?
The pyro took forever to happen. He had his regular intro pyro, right? Just had his regular intro pyro. It's supposed to be the entire building.
If the champion retained or not, or
it goes off
new champion, the pyro go around the stadium, and it was none of that.
It's the state of money era. I said, y'all about to just drop some balloons, fill up the ring with the faces, let it be a real celebration, pass around some cake. Let it be a real celebration. That's all some cake. We did it, guys.
It was no pyro. That's the part I was waiting on, the pyro.
Right, sparkling. Got bartenders coming out with sparklers, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was like, well, like that's one of the moments I was looking forward to at Mania, like the pyro.
Right, the big pyro. I agree. It was his regular pyro popped up. I'm like, what's the rest of it? I even told my wife, like, they about to do this big pyro. They're like, do. I'm like, that's it. That's all he get. He just finished the story. This is what we
exactly. Got. That's a big deal. Where was the
That's
pyro?
A big deal. Someone who was champion for 4 years and you conquered that. Yeah, no, they in that sense. In regards to celebration, I think they dropped that. I'm okay with the people that came out. I hear what you're saying in regards to Hunter and Bruce. First of all, I didn't even realize Bruce Pritchard was
I didn't know he was still there.
Still with the company. I thought he got boxed out of the company, but that's neither here nor there.
No,
but
still there.
So all in all, because we talked about Mania for quite some time, we got to move on.
Yeah,
you graded overall.
I give it like 3.5 star 4.
Okay, out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5.
Okay.
I give it a 3.5. Like I said, it's not the great. It's not the greatest WrestleMania how everybody's saying it is, and people bugging talking about it's better than WrestleMania 17. I was like, y'all need to cool it.
Just because you finish your story doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
but it is one of the greatest WrestleMania main events in some time.
Mania moments, yeah. And the thing is,
in some time.
Yeah, when we look at WrestleMania as the greatest, when we discussed this when we were trying to figure out a top 5 WrestleMania, and then you had
drop that. Stick to them.
All right, but with that said, when you mentioned like WrestleMania in 17, or I forgot which one, when you actually look at the full card, there wasn't that many great matches. So I mean, when it comes to Mania, I don't think anyone necessarily says from top to bottom the card, every card delivered. It's stacked. I think when you think of like great Manias, it's more so moments than actually each match.
I say that with Mania 17. Shit, I put that up. I could actually watch. Me personally, I could watch 17 without skipping through a match. Like I said, that's one hell of a card.
And I think in general, I think you can say that case for a lot of Manias. But when in hindsight, when you think of certain matches and you're like, this. It wasn't 5 stars, right? But it served its purpose.
It served its purpose, and like in that thing, and like WrestleMania 17 to me, like I said, it was just well booked. And people were saying that like, oh, like this was better than 17, and people really throwing that out there. I'm like, I said that it's not one match and that was at 40 that could even compare to the TLC match at WrestleMania 17. Not one match.
And then like when it's so funny that you say that, because I'm thinking, all right, with this tag team ladder match. I'm thinking like, what was that NXT takeover ladder match for the tag team titles, and then that TLC match? I'm thinking like, yo, they about to do it. They didn't do it, so it's just
like I said,
3.5.
Mania 40 wasn't even Mania 40 wasn't even better than 39 to me, and 39 was Hollywood was great last year.
I hear that. Yeah.
The Mixed Tag Show.